With millions of YouTube channels, lovers of the weird, wacky, and what the choose talks a lot entertainment. This is Dix News U.S. Hi. Welcome to Dix News U.S. In tonight's captivating episode, we're going to be talking about The Wall. And not the one from Pink Floyd either. It's gonna be the border wall. I mean, come on. What other wall would we talk about? Wall E? I mean, come on. And let's say hi to the chat. Cricket noise. JK. LOL. Haha, haha, haha. It's because no one's actually started chatting yet because we're only a minute in and, you know, people aren't used to this schedule yet. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Huh? What am I supposed to do with that? Anyway, I hope you're all doing fantastic on this Monday night. I know this is no Monday Night Raw, but I'll tell you, the people in our first warm-up story are definitely getting raw dogged by their own stupidity. If you can all remember and recall the wonderful national security test we had last week, many people, including myself, said that I bet you a ton of prisoners got busted. And what do you know? Prisoners busted with smartphones behind bars because of the emergency alert test. Yeah, this coming from the all-popular and wonderful news source that is TMZ. Yeah. I can't believe that shit's even on my computer. I bet I have like 4 million viruses since I opened that fucking article on my shit. But you never know. Just saying. You know, I called it. The National Alert System got a lot of people in trouble because they don't know how to shut off the emergency alerts for their phone. But what if there's nuclear war? I'm not supposed to say that on YouTube. Oops. Whatever. Man. So the Democrats had this big old stink that they rose about the border wall, right? And I'll be damned if they're not going to start up again soon. Because, I mean, the Biden administration moves forward with the border wall construction in Starr County. As a matter of fact, the Biden administration waived 26 federal laws to allow for expedited construction. Yeah. Immigration is a huge issue in the United States. Regardless of what side of the fence you're on, it's a huge issue. Regardless of what you believe, etc., etc. These glasses are super reflective. Man, it's almost like they have glass on them. And I personally will not give my opinions on the immigration debate, other than the fact that I do think that we need a wall separating us from everybody, including various parts of our own country. Yes, the districts. No, I'm kidding. And I don't want it to be like the districts, but I mean, would it really be so bad if we just built some extra walls for security? I mean, honestly. So we'll take a look at this, and then we'll actually discuss the border wall, okay? Because according to this, the Biden administration is, in fact, moving forward with the border wall in a certain specific county called Starr County. And this, of course, is coming from KSAT.com, the local news of wherever the fuck this is. All right. So Starr County, Texas. The Biden administration is facing scrutiny and controversy over its recent decision to construct a new border wall in Starr County. But funding for the wall was appropriated in 2019 during the previous administration. Trump allocated a certain amount of funding from military construction projects and reallocated it to the wall under an emergency order that he had issued while he was president, said a professor of political science, Mark Kaswan, Kaswan. That's another fun name. Joe Biden rescinded that emergency order on his first day in office. Fast forward to fall of 2023. Plans of building the 8-foot border barrier, 18-foot border barrier, wow, are back on the table. I think a couple of $1 billion that Congress had appropriated for building walls were still there. And essentially, the Biden administration's argument is that binds them to actually build the wall. Well, I mean, we don't really have a choice. The money's there, and it's originally meant for building a wall. So what choice do we have? Honestly. Click. No chats on that side. But anyway, so that's the argument they're using. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas stated that in a press release that the administration is compelled to follow the law, adding the law requires the government to use the funds to build the wall. More specifically, the law requires the government to use these funds for what they were originally appropriated for. Not specifically just to build the wall. Like when you take money from people, saying you're going to use it for something, you're supposed to use it for that. Looking at you, Red Cross. Yeah, here's looking at you, Red Cross. That's what, yeah, you're supposed to put it where it's supposed to go. Anyway, the Biden administration has since waived 26 federal laws to allow the expedited construction, but many are still concerned with the process. And then it gets into blah, blah, blah about the environment and blah, blah, blah from this fucktard that I can't even pronounce his name of. All right. We're not going to get into the, oh my gosh, it's hurting these fish no one's ever heard of. Who cares? Anyway, so now we're going to get into the real topic of discussion. All right. And this is just, we need to stay focused on this and not talk about the burritos that I'm actually thinking about right now. All right. Because the reality of the situation is, what else should we wall off? Like, let's be real. Like, let me know in the chat and in the comment section and stuff what you think we should wall off. Because, like, in my head, I'm thinking like, 7/8 creatively cut of California, all of Mexico, the entirety of Canada. We can leave the East Coast open, except for maybe Southern Florida. But and then okay, and then we get creative and we wall off New York City, original, right? And then we wall off Chicago, and then we wall off Oprah's house, put it inside of a giant concrete dome, make sure that bitch can't do shit anymore. We have finally contained the evil wench. But seriously, though, what else could we wall off? It would be fantastic. I mean, I like walls. They keep me safe. They keep me warm or cool, depending on the time of year it is. I mean, walls are a good thing, in my opinion. But in this case, I still think it's a good thing. Honestly, we need better border protection. We need better security. Security. And you know why? Because security stops things from being dangerous, right? Or at least in some capacity, it acts as a preventative insulation towards said shiznit, right? Word. But seriously, though, if they're required by law to build this wall, because that's what the money was taken for, why did it take them so long to get back on it? Were they just trying to find ways to spend the money? Oh, what am I saying? Of course that's what they were trying to do. As my friend Ryan Roger Affey likes to call them, the demon rats don't exactly give a fuck about anything but themselves, so they were probably looking how they could use the money for the wall to build themselves new mansions like BLM did. Oh, wait, that's it. They bought mansions. Buy large mansions. That's right. My bad. But in all reality, They've known since he rescinded the order that he had to use this money, billions of dollars, possibly even hundreds of billions of dollars, to build the wall. And it's not like they used it to, like, they could they have reappropriated that money and then, like, put it into something else? I mean, could they have? Like, I don't know, rebuilding the small businesses that were burned down a bit ago in the summer of love. Like, yeah, bro. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe the federal government isn't allowed to help its people. Now, there's the conspiracy. My tinfoil hat's in the other room. Damn it. Everyone knows they don't want to build this wall. But now, everyone should be aware they don't have a choice. But here comes our first poll of the night. I know that there's no one actively chatting, but you can vote on these polls anonymously. So it helps if I actually push create a poll. Should we wall off? Yeah, that's yeah, that's how you spell it. That's how you spell it right there. That's how you spell it. Our first poll of the night. There it is. And I got to remember to give you guys more than two choices, or else I'm not living up to what I'm expecting. Yeah, there we go. All right. For those of you sitting at home right now and not in the chat, it says, should we wall off California? And the three choices are yes, yes, and yes. I hope you choose the right vote. I hope you vote correctly, the right way, as we all do in these democratic things. Now, given that there's hundreds of thousands of people at the southern border, coming from all over the place, for so many years on end, you think we would have figured this out by now? Building a wall, realizing that when people give you money for something, you have to use it for that, or it's technically fraud and embezzlement and theft and all this other weird shit that I probably don't even know the name of because it's related to a government entity. Indeed. Yeah. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Someone agrees. But it's the middle yes. That's a risky vote there, buddy. Or lady, chick, man, dude. Dude is a gender neutral term. Dude. As it's used by the new people, the new generation of people. So, dude. But anyway, it's a serious problem not having this wall. And do you know why it's a serious problem? It's not because immigrants are coming over and stealing jobs. Because if the immigrant came over and stole your job, then were you good at it? And I'm not trying to be confrontational with that statement. It's just more of a general observation. From my understanding, it should have been completely built and completely finished in the 80s or the 90s just to stop Carlos Mencia from making it here. And I honestly do think that we should wall off Canada. Because ain't nothing good coming from Canada right now. There's good stuff in Canada, but it's not coming to us. You want to talk about an expensive, like, that would be like building the giant wall that you see in, like, Pacific Rim. Because those Canadians are super athletic. Have you ever seen those guys hit each other? Man, they apologize the whole time they're doing it. It's crazy. I think Canada is definitely a good next step Once we finish this southern border wall, we just wall off Canada, hang big old signs on it, and then say, fuck you, you can't go here for healthcare anymore. Fuck your hopes and dreams of getting better. That's also a joke because you go to Canada and they're like, have you tried suicide? It's a pretty popular option right now. But I really do think we should just wall off all the borders. You know? Hell, put the wall out in the, like, at the edge of international waters and just the whole country. You know? Drop a couple billion tons of TNT down into, like, San Andreas and just push California away. And that's less wall we have to build. I mean, seriously. Maybe it's more. No? We can make it work. We can make it less. Yeah. We can make it less. That's right. Everybody knows that you can build walls in the middle of the ocean, right? I mean, it's not like the Pacific Ocean is deep or anything. Right? We could break it off and shove it off into the ocean and call it Alcatraz 2.0. They'd be like, we are the nation of California. It's like, good luck. You guys are what we in the business call fucked. That's right. Totally and completely fucked. But anyway, Canada. I mean, that would be a huge wall. I mean, think about that. I know Montana probably wouldn't have too much issue with that. They're probably up there like, fuck them Canucks. I don't like them bastards. They're dumb. Missing all their teeth and shit. They ain't never driven no cattle, etc. You know, North Dakota might have a problem with it because they're bluer than a freaking waffle. Yeah, don't Google that. I should really load some sound effects in here somewhere. Alas, I always forget. I like the fact that we have video backgrounds now in Streamlabs. I will just take a second to say that. See all this over here? Yeah. It's spinning and moving. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the first poll. Because 100% of people said yes, we need to wall off California. And since this is how democracy works, we're walling off California. Next poll. Next poll. Should we wall off Canada? Questions are yes. And what the maple syrup fuck you me. Aww. Damn it. There we go. I got an idea. There we go. All right. There's poll number 2. Should we wall off Canada? And your choices, because I forgot to add a third, is yes and the maple syrup fuck do you mean? That's right. I still think we should wall off Canada, damn it. Honestly. Not like anything good came from Canada. I mean, everything that's come out of Canada has basically been mediocre. I mean, we've got Ryan Reynolds. He's honestly just vanilla for me at this point. He always plays the same fucking character. Just saying. And then, yeah, that's about it. All the good shit in Canada doesn't want to leave Canada, and I don't understand why they don't want to leave Canada, because they should totally leave Canada. I mean, Yeah, it's expensive down here in the States, but I mean, you can make it out of Canada, and at least you know, when you go to see like a loan officer or some shit, they're not like, hey, have you considered killing yourself? It's like, what the bloody fuck is that? I mean, honestly. Jeez. You know, I wish I had a way to promote this on things like Twitter, Facebook, and stuff, but just can't bring myself to go back to social media like that, you know? Yeah. I absolutely have no idea why I was speaking in an Australian accent. A bad one at that. Man. Man. So, just to keep things flowing on the border wall. Wow. What do you mean it can't be reached? Oh, fuck the Wall Street Journal. Screw you, bitch. Ah, yeah, that's totally a good website to go with, but fuck it, let's go with it anyway. Boop. Hey, look, it's moving. Anyway, so it says Biden faces more criticism about the U.S. Mexico border, one of his biggest problems heading into 2024. Yeah, he has a lot of problems running into 2024. Both of the forced choices are facing a lot of really big issues right now. Miami, Associated Press, or whatever the fuck AP stands for. The ad sounds like something out of the GOP 2024 playbook, trumpeting a senator's work with Republicans to crack down on the flow of fentanyl and other illegal drugs into the U.S., getting through on Chinese interests, helping smugglers. Wow. And noting how he wrote the bill signed by Donald Trump to increase funding for Border Patrol. Yeah. What ad? What fucking ad are you talking about? These people are dumb. Jeez. It's actually a commercial for Senator Sherrod Brown, an Ohio Democrat, facing a tough re-election fight that will help decide the control of the Senate. Ohioans trust Sherrod Brown to keep us safe. What does this have to do with the border wall thing? Now it gets down here? Gosh, stupid. Like, what the fuck did that have to do with anything? Gosh. The message is one more indication of the political and security challenges the U.S.-Mexico border has presented for President Joe Poopin. Some Democrats across the country are distancing themselves from the White House, as all Democrats should. Just go the fuck away. Take the Republicans with you. Let the Americans take over. The poll indicates widespread frustration with Biden's handling of immigration and the border, creating a major liability for the president's re-election next year. Interesting. Okay, let's just be completely 100% fucking honest. Okay, nobody thinks Joe Biden is right for the job. Even the people that are blue, no matter who, blah, 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 are starting to question that. Okay? Because everybody can see that Joe Biden is a fucking pawn and a fucking worthless piece of garbage. Okay? Just plain and simple. The Democrats don't want anything to do with him because he's not fulfilling their wishes as much as they would like him to. All right, let's just be honest. He's not doing everything that they want him to, and I personally thank God for that, and I completely chalk it up to the fact that Joe Biden is just a senile psycho fucking can't do what they want. Beyond that, things would be so much worse. All right. The fact that they have to finish the border wall, at least in certain areas, is a good thing, because that means that they're at least recognizing some of the rules that are in place. Even though, if we're being totally honest, it doesn't fucking matter. All right. With everything else going on, it doesn't fucking matter. When we get down to the point where we're seeing the election roll up, we're going to have bigger issues than the border wall. We're going to have bigger issues than abortion. We're going to have bigger issues than which one of the candidates is indicted at any given time, or who's in China's pocket or Ukraine's pocket, or et cetera, et cetera. Like, we're going to have bigger problems than that, because the powers that be will generate these problems for the United States populace. It's just like they've been saying that there's another ONA bullshit coming up. All right. I don't know about you, but I call fucking bullshit. It's a little too fucking convenient on the timing. But that being said, the border wall is a huge issue right now. Fuck the election. Okay. That's all I have to say. Right here, right now, we need to be able to defend our country, period. And with the unrest that we see across the world, the only way to guarantee that the United States would be safe would be isolationism, at least in my personal opinion. Hail to TZ Burton. He says, lovely glasses. Thank you. Thank you. They're very fun. Spirit Halloween. Steampunk collection. $10. Now I'm half blind. Damn, that messes with me so bad. Come on, go back up. And I touched the lenses. That means I'm going to have to incessantly clean them soon. That's not true at all. I'm not going to clean them at all, because I can't wear these outside. They're weird. Anywho, seriously though, we've seen an unprecedented amount of unrest globally in recent days, weeks, months, years. Pick it, pick it, pick it, pick it. Like a piece of fruit, just look at it. Oh, can't eat that peach for hours because it's rotten. You know why it's rotten? Because nobody's doing anything to protect the United States citizen. They're public servants, but they don't protect us. They were interested in protecting us, they would shut the entire fucking border system down and have incredibly thorough security checks to get into the United States of America. Not, yeah, you look Ukrainian. Come on over. Not, oh, you're a Hispanic guy. Say you got 4 kids back in, like, Juarez. All right, come on over. Have a free cell phone. We're not verifying and checking anything. Yes, the volume is incredibly high. But when you're the land of opportunity, freedom, and peace, you don't have a fucking choice. There's going to be a lot of them. But you know what? We need to be able to secure that, because shit's going down around the world that's going to fucking affect us. It's going to. And without closed borders, 9/11 will seem mild. And that's not a threat. That's a prediction. By the way, don't let the beard fool you. I'm not into blowing things up. I guess the glasses could kind of give that away as well. But I mean, like, yes. And today we are going to experiment with nitroglycerin. Yeah. No, probably not. Am I allowed to say nitroglycerin on YouTube? Is that one of the no-no words? I don't know. Who decides that? Well, anyway, like let's be honest. Border control is a very important issue. The problem we run into, hail to small-time Republic, he says, Dr. Corey Strangelove. Dr. Strangelove. Not really sure how that works out. TZ Burton says, sure. To what? I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. You have to be slightly more specific. But anyway, we're going to be dealing with a lot of shit over the next, I'm going to say 24 months at the very least. That's going to make us kind of antsy, if you will. And of course, when you have antsy people and anxious people working high tense job, Border Patrol, things get messy, as we have seen. You know, Border Patrol agents are humans and they make mistakes. They work way too long of hours and they have little to show for it. But they're necessary to protect the American citizens. Excuse me, I'm getting a little clogged up in my throat here. Give me a sec. By the way, I hope you guys are doing well tonight. It's a very odd show tonight. You know, I'm pretty sure the Chinese would have had this wall built by now. They supposedly did a good job on theirs, except for those 2 excavation workers that ran through it. What was that, last month? Yeah. Excavation workers there. I think they were road workers that just ran an excavator through the wall. That's right. That's what happened. But anyway, there are many huge issues facing the United States internally right now. Election integrity is one of them. Can we trust our elections? Can we trust the politicians that we do elect? Can we rely on these people to do what they say they're going to do for the American people and not just for themselves? The American people has made it far too often a habit to just let the government do whatever the fuck the government wants. And now we're seeing a lot of the full effects of that fallout. The government doesn't give a fuck what the people think because they're not for the people, by the people, of the people, etc., etc., etc. The people don't even register once they're elected. They don't care anymore. They act like they do, but they don't. So literally, it is each individual citizen of the United States to start taking action to ensure that the government still functions for the people and is still comprised of the people and not just an elite controlling caste that thinks that they know what's best for every living human being in existence. Because if they really did, then none of us would be our birth gender right now. Or we'd all be incredibly crazy religious zealots, depending on which side of the madness took power at what time. You know, it's only a matter of time until one of the presidents tries to exert an executive power, thus maintaining their power over their position forever. There's been a lot of conspiracies going around. That's a weird word to use these days. Hail, toxic man flu. Hail. And one of the conspiracies that's recently cropped up that I've been made aware of and keep in mind, this is like straight up clickbait headline bullshit that I've been seeing, because I'm not going to click and read on what CNN has to say about the following subject. I'm not going to click and read on what MSNBC has to say on the subject. But recently, there's been a rumor going around of a Red Caesar plot for the United States. For those of you who are not aware of what a Red Caesar is, this is a concept invented by the left, I'm assuming. The blues, let's call them. And it states that there's this element of the radical far right that wants to establish a Caesarship as held by a Republican or conservative leaning individual. And I don't see evidence of people calling for anything like that. That, of course, is barring Queen of Canada bullshit that's going on up there. And in case you guys haven't heard that, just Google Queen of Canada and look in the news tabs. Brave search it. It's everywhere. Go check out Queen of Canada. She's a crazy bitch. Public executions being threatened to an entire town, but that's not the United States. So I digress. Excuse me. And the problem I have with this Red Caesar thing that they keep talking about is oftentimes when the left starts accusing the right of doing something, of wanting something, or aiming for something, they themselves are already in the process of trying to obtain said something. And I don't think a Caesar or a dictator sounds like a good idea, no matter what color they're flying their flag under, especially if it's rainbow. I'm sorry, but that's the last thing we need right now. A dictator who flies under the pride flag. Any idea how unstable that situation would be? Ugh. I mean, ugh. But like, let's get real here. The United States cannot fall under a dictatorship and maintain the moniker United States. See, Toxic Man Flu agrees, and I knew he would. He says, fuck that, no one person with control. Yeah, I don't know a single person on either side of the fence, not personally, that would actually go for something like this. I've seen people in those crazy videos from the intertubes that say they believe in this stuff. But when it's on the intertubes, you just kind of halfway assume that it's just fucking hot air, right? But when one person on the intertubes screams loud enough, that gets the attention of millions of other people on the intertubes. And then the idea of social proof is manufactured that this is an actual thing. And all you got to do is scare the right person by saying the right words, and they'll automatically just label it. Like, I'm sure that, like, this is in my brain, like, possible that there is some element of the far right that wants some kind of dictator in place. But more, it feels more true to say that the left want a dictator in place. That the blues want a dictator of their own. And we've seen this through most of the previous Democratic presidents. Oh my. Small Time Republic says some want to establish an AI president that would have a collection of all human knowledge and let it run the country. What could go wrong? Yeah, never seen that movie. Somebody should make a movie about that. AI president would have a collection of all human knowledge. I've got really bad news for those motherfuckers. We don't even have a collection of all human knowledge. Like, the government doesn't know shit. So how are they going to do that? And I sure as hell ain't following the orders of a machine. If it turns into Elysium, you know who those guards are killing? This guy. This guy right here. Like, seriously. Like, I ain't dealing with that kind of shit. I answer to no robot. Right? Small Time Republic says, I heard it on Lex Fridman's podcast and started laughing. Yeah. Would that AI be able to create a picture of a human being without 54 fingers? That'd be nice. That'd be great. Be fantastic. TZ Burton. He says, Hail Toxic Man Flu supporting our guy Corey. Ah, my bad. That was for someone else. I'm such a nosy bitch. Anyway, Toxic Man Flu says both sides want to eventually have a dictator because they cannot understand an existence of tolerance. See, the problem with an existence of tolerance is the amount of tolerance that people expect often exceeds what is actually achievable. And in my opinion, I think, just me, just my personal opinion here, people, don't go all crazy on me, but I think we should split the executive branch up. I mean, maybe we could try that. Okay. Yes, no consensus would ever be made. Nothing would ever get done. But, I mean, why is one man supposedly the most powerful one when he's actually the least powerful person next to the vice president that exists? Like, if you were least powerful people in the United States governmental structure of actual enforceable power, let's see, it goes from least to most. It goes vice president, president, and that's about it. I mean, let's be honest. Figureheads is what these motherfuckers are. Toxic Man Flu says I'm a crazy bastard and that's insane. Well, I'm just, like, I'm not saying we split it up into like 5. We don't need 5 major parties in the executive branch making decisions. But if we had 3, and I know that sounds crazy in and of itself, but the 3 still follows the 2/3 principle. Okay. You could have a Democratic president that's popularly elected by the Democratic voters. You could have a Republican sitting in office who's elected by the Republican voters. And you could put it all on camera and watch Trump and Biden beat the fuck out of each other in the Oval Office. And it would be fantastic. But anyway, well, in order to play the cage fight out, yes, one of them has to be Biden. Because I would love to see both of them sitting in the Oval Office just screaming at each other across the room. Like, this is my desk. This is my office. Oh, you're stupid. You're wrong. Wrong. I pooped myself. But, I mean, you would... And then you'd have a third neutral party that would be able to kind of mediate, if you will, so that, they wouldn't just be like running around pissing on each other's shit all the time. That's a really childish way to put that. But let's be honest, that's all they would do. But the third middle party could be the individual that was elected by the people that aren't really tied to a party. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, and I'm not talking this whole trickle down tier voting ranked choice bullshit. Okay? Not talking about that. I'm talking about you have your primaries for each party. Yes, there's room for corruption because guess what? It's politics. That's what politics is. It's a corrupted institution, period. It is. But I feel like that would get us more results than simply having one dude who can barely pull up his own pants at this point. Toxic Man Flu says, yeah, ranked choice is basically a dictatorship. It is. I mean, it's a trickle down voting, as you might call it. Like, no, the fuck is that? Toxic Man Flu says, used to be the vice president was the second vote getter and sat as the tiebreaker on the Senate. I wonder why that isn't a thing anymore. Because, I mean, if you had a Republican president and a Democratic vice president, or a Democratic president and a Republican vice president, it'd be pretty much the same thing we have now because they're both fucking useless under the current system. But I'm just saying. All of the power lies with those douchebags who continue to get paid no matter what. And by that, I mean Congress and the House. The judges are a completely different story. It's a whole different ball of wax. But let's be honest. If we could just clearinghouse, just fire sale Congress, start over with people that are actually worth having in office, which are really hard to find these days, by the way. Because most of the people that would be good in office don't want it. And these days, you can't just be like, yo, you're going. Now they have rules. In order to campaign and be recognized nationally, you have to raise a certain dollar amount in your own home district, in your own home, blah, blah, blah. And let's be real. They've made sure that the average Tom, Dick, and Harry cannot gain a political power in this. Because they would make sure that, oh, that individual became a senator because everybody loves them so much. They become a congressman because everybody loves them so much. Let's buy them. Small Time Republic says the problem is Congress attracts people who are prone to corruption already. Indeed. Lots of narcissists, lots of, if they weren't politicians, they would be serial killers. You want to know where all the serial killers went? They went to the fucking Hill. All the serial killers that would have existed in modern age are currently working in Capitol Hill, wherever the fuck you are. They're probably the aides writing the bills because the senators and people we actually elect poop themselves every time something bad happens. I can't believe it. I'm sick of weak-minded and weak-spined individuals being in charge of shit. All right? Trump had balls. All right? He had the guts to actually get in people's faces about stupid shit. And that is a quality that we need in a president. The only problem I have with Trump is the man has no tact. He has, he might have a sense of diplomacy, but he doesn't actually have any tact. He would be fabulous if he would learn to just saying, the judge that's overriding my thing. The man has a chronic habit of digging his own hole with his mouth. Yes, he has an amazing track record of getting out of it. I'm not going to lie. But he's not the suave smooger. Smooging. I don't know. Smooger? He's not that kind of guy. He's so used to being able to throw money at a problem and fix it that, like, and be able to say whatever the fuck he wants. Now it might actually bite him in the ass. I'm just saying, as I've said before, if my only options on the primary presidential election bullshit is Biden and Trump, I'm going with Trump. Honestly. You know how many fucking wars broke out in the Middle East while he was here? Just saying. Just saying. Hail yet again, says the Basco scenario. Hail, sir. Make sure you catch the hangout. Or the hot orange, whichever. What was that again? It was the hot orange. No, wait. No. Just kidding. It's the hangout. Go check it out. He's awesome over on Rumble and all over the place on here on YouTube and shit. Make sure you're subscribed to the Basco scenario. But yeah, we were talking about the wall for like a whole 20 minutes. It's just gone. Man. Final opinions on the border wall. Let me hear them. Do you think we should maybe build that border wall? Do you think maybe we should wall off the rest? And California, and New York City, and Chicago, and most of South Florida. At least some of South Florida. The old people smell. Ugh. JK, LOL. Oh my gosh. But seriously, let me know what you guys think, both here in the live chat and in the comment section, what you guys think about the border wall, whether or not it should be being built, or not. Honestly, I personally think that it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to close and protect our borders. But yeah, I am just one man. I have absolutely no control over what you do. But I will hope that you will push the subscribe button. Yes. And of course, Toxic Man Flu says it goes up. Electrified. Only open border in the entire world. Yeah, we do have the only open border in the entire world. You're correct. You are correct. Yep. Let's see. TZ Burton says, I want a 100-foot shiny wall Pacific Ocean to the Gulf. That would be fantastic. That'd be great. Small Time Republic says, all I ask is that the feds stop tearing up the barriers that Texas is adding on the border. Well, they kind of have to, at least with the floating barricades, because a judge actually told them that they're allowed to have that. It's a little late to find the story, but certain parts of Texas, they had floating barricades. And they were like, oh my gosh, you can't have those. And meh, 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 meh. Federal judge said, yes, they can. So there you go. But that's never really stopped the FBI from committing crimes before. So, TZ Burton says, short people like Comics Division could sneak through the cracks. You're right. But you're assuming someone that's short actually has enough leg length to tread water, swim. Unless, of course, you're talking about the land thing, because then it's like he could just crawl under it. It'd be fine. So what'd you get for not showing up, Comics? I'm going to make fun of your shortness, and you're not even going to be here to react to it, because that's the best. Making fun of people when they're not around is the best, right? JK, LOL. Not really. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bounce. It's been a great time. We've had a fun discussion. I do hope that you guys will join us for the discussion we're about to have in an hour on Comics Division's channel. It is on Monday Meltdown. Is it Monday Night Meltdown or is it Monday Meltdown? I really need to look at that. Since I'm on the show, I should probably know the name of the show. I'm pretty sure I said this back when Yelling at Parked Cars started. Like, what is it called again? Well, anyway, catch us over there. We're going to be talking probably the Continental Part 3, which I did have a chance to watch, and I can't wait to talk about it. Just saying. It's just going to be my personal opinions on it. And also, tomorrow I'm starting my October reviews. I'm hoping to have it released tomorrow, but it'll be a month of Corey's quick reviews. Yeah, popping up whenever I get them done. Yeah, Monday Meltdown. That's what I thought. Monday night, Thursday night, like all this other stuff. But anyway, I am going to start those reviews starting tomorrow. And you know what the best part is? It'll be released. I'm just going to do the fucking quick reviews live. Honestly, I'll just jump on. I'll do a quick review of the movie and then I'll end it. And then you guys can share it out. And I don't have to edit anything. It'll be great. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm glad you guys thought of that. That's a good idea. Yeah, we'll do that. So tomorrow, Corey's quick review on Renfield. Live here on Toxalot Entertainment. Yes. Oh, man. My Windows Defender is shut off. There's a shocker. Oh, yeah, that's right. It doesn't let me use my real antivirus with that. Oh, my gosh. All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in a little while. I'm going to go have some burritos. Yes. Until next time, stay sexy. Don't get murdered. And as always, have a wonderful time. Mm-hmm.